Hello everyone and welcome to my page, Messages from Venus. So I'm gonna do a shitload of videos for you guys today because feel like I'm very backed up. I bought myself this little calendar. Well, I didn't buy this one. This one was from my full-time job. And my boss had gotten calendars made for himself. And I just put my to-dos and things that I have to do, and then I highlight them, spells, new moon stuff, topic videos. I'm backed up in the topic videos. So this specific video is going to be about, and I have notes in regards to two videos that I would like to take care of today in regards to actual topics. If you guys hear noise, it's because I'm in my living room, just so you guys know. In regards to the actual topics, I'm gonna do two, and then everything else, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be, yes, I'm gonna do 3 videos in regards to reviews, like product reviews and things that I use for my hair, elf products that I bought years ago and I just never said anything about them. And then these 2 topic videos are going to be my videos for the night. And this one specifically is this is how to read outside. I don't know if how many of you guys have been following me, but oh, and shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, because I have like over 1,000 subscribers. Yay me. Hello. Hi everyone. But anyway, I used to do readings outside when I first started reading the cards and learning about the cards. That was around, I don't know, maybe 2013, 2012. No, the summer of 2013, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I started reading outside, and I did it because I wanted to learn. I wanted to have a new experience. And of course, before you become before you become the Hierophant or the High Priestess or the Empress or the Emperor, you have to go through trials and tribulations. And I'll explain to you guys what that means in other videos in regards to like the Matrix and how we use the cards. It is the system. It is the Matrix. Anyway, so moving along to reading outside. So when I first learned how to read outside, I already knew how to read the cards, etc., but I wasn't experienced in regards to energy and what energy is concerned. Things that I didn't write down, I'm writing down on the piece of paper so that I don't forget to mention it to you guys. So I had no idea. I wanted to read, and I was like, okay, well, this is getting me good experience. Balancing things out with making money or having frequency. And I was being taught by gypsies in New York how to read and how to handle clients. And I know gypsies have a bad rep on them, but not everybody is as disgusting as some people are. They're not as greedy. Not everybody's like that. The ones that I met started off nice, and of course they ended up being absolutely horrendous at the end, because I found out one too many things that I'm not going to speak about here, because the fact of the matter is that some people have to experience greedy people such as themselves, and so therefore if I talk too much about it, then I'll stop your karma, and I'm stopping you from completing your karma. That's another video. Anyway, when you're reading outside, you basically learn about yourself. You learn the elements, you learn how to interact with your elements, and you also know how to market yourself. A lot of the issues that we have nowadays, especially when it comes to the spiritual community or the tarot community, is that we tend to forget that if you are reading the cards for money, sometimes I read the cards to trade. I don't always read the cards for money or monetary gains. Sometimes I just read the cards for free. Like sometimes I'll just have free readings, or I'll just give free readings to my friends because it balances things out. That's how energy actually works. But when you are a reader such as myself with a business certificate such as I do, Messages from Venus has its own business certificate. I don't have a corporation, but I have a business certificate. which is one of the reasons why you probably won't find it online. You probably won't find, I mean, you'll find it on my social medias, but if you go to the Secretary of State, you're not going to find messages for Venus, because I'm not a corporation. At least you shouldn't. But that's in a separate video, which I already have in my little booklet to talk to you guys in regards to, yes, if you are in the spirit community, you are running a business. This is a business. If you're interchanging something, whether it's energy or monetary gains, you're running a business. If you are using it for your taxes, you are running your business. If it's something that's taxable, it's a business, okay? If you have an Etsy shop and the Etsy shop gives you a W-9 at the end of the year, you are running a business, okay? Some people have a stick up their ass about that because they're like, oh my gosh, no, I'm a spiritual person. Oh my goodness, and they just forget. Like, if you do your taxes with your business name, whether your business name is your name or another name, you're running a business. So anyway, you learn about yourself, like I said before, and one of the things that I learned is that if you are part of this universe, you can't just be like, oh, I just want to expel negative energy. If you're going to be a reader, you're going to encounter people with negative energy, or and when I talk about negative energy, I'm talking about literally the flow of the energy within people, and positive energy. When you're reading for somebody, you're tapping into their soul using these. So let's say I'm giving somebody a reading. So I have the 10 of Pentacles here, I have the 9 of Cups here, and then I have the 7 of Wands. I'm giving the story to this person, and based on the question, if they do have a question, if the inquiry has a question or not, you're still tapping into their consciousness. You're interchanging energy. So when you interchange energy, you need to know whether or not this is a place or environment for you. If you cannot interchange energy and you just want to be fluffy all the time, reading outside is not the best thing for you. Would probably not be the best thing, because you will encounter all sorts of energies. You're going to encounter people that are good, people that are nice, people that are actually needing your help, people that are going through things, and people that are not going through things, etc. So you know where you stand. And that first day that you're doing readings outside, you will know whether that is something that you can do or not. And it will also open your doors to self-confidence, self-love, dedication to your business, and appreciation for yourself. In my experience, I can only talk about self, right? So how I also learned about myself was with the crystals, the elements, astrology, and how to market myself. I use the crystals that represent my sun sign. You can use crystals that represent your sun sign, moon, or rising, or use crystals that represent all 12 houses and place them on top of the desk or wherever it is that you're doing the reading, or wherever your environment is. Or maybe you can have them on a necklace and carry the crystals and then do your readings like that. Why crystals? Because crystals carry along energy, and they have energy, and they can take energy, and it's a vessel for you to interchange energy. So for example, if I am in my element, and let's say I have an opal, which represents my birth date, right? Is it an opal? Yes, it's an opal. Represents my birth date. I am protecting myself. I'm giving that certain energy of whatever the opal is doing to myself, or the white opal is doing to myself. Now, let's say I have a crystal quartz laying on top of the table, or wherever my environment is. That crystal quartz is absorbing certain energies that either are not supposed to be meant for me, or energies from clients, etc., etc. Also, crystals allow you to have karmic relationships. Karmic relationships are not bad relationships, okay? There's certain relationships where you have to interact and learn how to connect with people from your past, so that you can either cut the cords or allow those cords to manifest in this life as well, for one reason or another. When I was reading outside, I will also use crystals to bring in money to myself, or bring in frequency to myself that had to do with money. So I would have an aventurine on the table. I would also have a clear triangle, a clear crystal triangle on top of the table, so it would protect all corners of my environment at that very moment in time. And I had a small piece of magnet, so I knew to attract certain people to me. If I placed the magnet next to a certain crystal, I would know to feel the energies of that crystal and also attract the energies of that crystal, because that's where most of the energy is pulling to. So those are things you need to know in regards to the crystals. As far as the crystals and karma, crystals and karma are very important because, for example, I met people from my past lives that I did not physically remember, but because reading outside and my meditations that I was doing and my awakening period that I was doing from 2008, from 2008 to 2011, 2012, I was going through a period of awakening without spirituality. It was just experience after experience after experience. And it was literally, I was going through my chakras via the experience, as opposed to even knowing anything that had to do with the chakra system. I had no idea what the fuck chakra systems were prior to that time. Heard about them, saw them, but I had no idea what they were. So the crystals allowed me to connect with certain people within certain energies of the crystals that had to do with my past lives, that I either had to heal them in some way, shape, or form via my throat chakra, or we had to reconnect because they needed to give me something, a piece of themselves, a message. They were my angels of light in person. So crystals are good for that, right? Your elements. It's important for you to be in tune with your elements. For example, well, first of all, you need to know what your element is. You need to look in your chart or look up your sign. My sun sign is Libra, so I am mostly in tune with the air sign. So I have the characteristics of the air signs, which is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So these three signs are within, like I said, the element of air. So what I would do is that I would be in a place where air would literally pass by. For example, let's say I would be reading at Bryant Park, or I would be at Bryant Park. Sometimes I would just sit there. There's chairs and tables there, so I would put my little cloth and figure everything out. And what I would do is that I would pick a place not just where my astrological direction was, but also where there was a lot of air. Not so much so that I could throw my things away or like the wind will blow so strongly, but there was air and movement, and the wind was always flowing within that direction, right? So you're gonna have to be in that element. Also, water is very important. Water keeps you hydrated, and it also keeps you flowing, especially when there's a lot of energies coming through. I live in New York, so there's cars everywhere. There's people cursing each other out all the time, people being nice, people not being so nice. So water always kept me hydrated, in a sense where my physical body was in its own element, and it also kept my third eye wide awake. When you are outside doing readings, make sure that you're careful with the type of foods that you eat. I will always try to eat lunch. Yes, there were a couple of times where I cheated and got myself some serious Chipotle. But depending on the type of foods that you eat, it causes a certain reaction to your awareness of your surroundings and your spiritual awareness. So that's also very important. I'm not a vegan in any way, shape, or form, but if you can not eat meat while you're giving these readings, it's better, because your ancestors can be more connected to you. For whatever reason, when I want to do ancestral rituals, I try not to eat meat, or try not to eat as much meat as I would on a regular basis when I know that I'm about to do these rituals, because I don't feel them as close. I know why, but I just don't feel them as close. I stink to them. They smell the flesh too much. Astrology. It's good to use astrology. Why? Because you know that on a day like when Mercury is retrograde, or when like 3 planets are retrograde, including Mercury, you know that that's going to cause you a problem. So you're not going to go in the mindset of I'm gonna do readings outside, and all these energies are your obstacles right now. So you kind of have to transmute the energy, like, you know what, today I'm gonna do readings, but I'm not gonna do them for 3 hours. I'm gonna do them for an hour. I'm gonna do them for 30 minutes, and the universe will compensate with you, because you're in the frequency that it's in at that very moment in time. Excuse me. Astrology is also important because once you know what your element is, you know whether you should be sitting in the east, west, north, or south. Each element corresponds to a certain direction. So make sure that you're in the direction of your element and also surrounded by your element. That is very important. The ups of reading outside is that you get to market yourself. I look crazy. Look at this. Anyway, I have to make videos. You get to market yourself in a way that in my opinion, that I never thought possible, because I got to interchange business cards with people. I got to see who was my quote unquote enemy in the streets, or my competition in the streets. So you become fierce. You become aware of the go-getter mentality, the entrepreneur mentality. You also become aware of the all and the different faces that the all comes in. So you see the universe, you see that God, or that God mentality within different people having different experiences as the world just continues to go. It's very powerful. The downs about it is that you'll meet a lot of people that are energy vampires in the streets, and I highly suggest that you become very aware of what energies vampires are. They take your time while you're doing a reading. They're like, oh yes, I'll do this reading, or can you do this reading for me? And then they'll spend hours, about 20 to 30 minutes or more, or an hour, just talking to you. And every time you're telling them, you know what, I don't have time for this, they just sit there. It happened to me. It happened to me twice, so that I know. Actually, I feel like it happened to me every time, even though every time I gave a reading, it was the people that I was dealing with were energy vampires, because they were either so desperate or so vulnerable, or they were so in tune and so knowledgeable that they knew exactly how to maneuver my energy. And then I started getting really good at that and sent people to eat shit at the end. But that was like once I almost stopped doing readings outside. So those are the downs about that. Like I mentioned before, it is a form of marketing. You do have a business. You market yourself. You market your talents. You market your healing talents. If you're a healer, you don't want to be where everybody's ready to be. If you're a healer, you're gonna be where the dumps are, or quote unquote where the dumps are. You're gonna be where the prostitutes are. You're gonna be where people have physical infestations of diseases, physical and spiritual diseases. You're not going to be high scale where everybody's paying you $150 to get a consultation with you. Even though I know there's amazing readers out there that do charge $100, $150, or more than $50, no problem. It is what it is. That's, your worth. That's knowing your worth. But comes time to time where you would want to be in an area or in a place where people need assistance, so that you can transmute that energy and level the always getting prosperity energies to, right now I don't want to get too much prosperity, and you learn how to swing the pendulum in the direction that you want this pendulum to swing, stop, or move, and continue, etc., etc. It's a form of learning the ins and outs of the matrix, right? And how do you know the ins and outs of the matrix? You know that you live in a systematic environment. This world is a system. This entire world lives on systems with an S. Systems upon systems upon systems. So therefore, you know how to break in and out of those systems by interchanging energy or interacting with other people within that same system, because you know where the mindset is. So if you ever see yourself in the same predicament that they're in, you know to either get out or stay. Very important. Life lessons through other people are very important in this system. That's why you have the court cards in the tarot, right? So you have the court cards. This is the King of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Rods. You have the Knights. You also have, you have the Kings. And you have the, let's see, where is my pages? Where are my pages? Okay, and so then you have the pages. You have the pages for each suit. So it's not that you will always experience an actual experience or an actual person, but you experience the energy via someone else. This is the system, you guys. So for those of you that are like, oh, I don't believe in the Matrix, or oh, I don't believe in the conspiracy, or oh, we don't live in the system, but you can read your cards. This is some sort of map or roadway to life. This is the Matrix. And some of you guys perfect this Matrix so fucking well that you don't ever read outside of another system. And that's why I read different systems. I read the playing cards. I read the tarot cards. I read for the most part, most fortune telling cards. I read them. And it's a little easier for me because I'm an intuitive reader. I also read the runes, even though I haven't cast runes in so long. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe a year or two or something like that. Or it's about to be a year or a year and something. But I can get out of each system and still be okay. I can still manifest things via each system and still be okay. So it's important for you guys to understand that the Rider-Waite-Smith system is a system. The Thoth system is a system. The playing card deck is a system where you see your life. There's people, there's events, there's situations, there's ups and there's downs. Nothing ever stays the same. The only thing that's constant is change. Another thing that's very important moving along is the business cards. If you are a tarot reader and you're not just doing things to do things, or you're not just doing things to just go out there, make some money, heal people, and balance that energy, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Live, you're on Snapchat, you're on all the social media pages. You need business cards so that people can know who you are. They know to call you as opposed to calling your the competitors. Okay. You put yourself on the map. And also with a business card, you give yourself a title. Even though you already have a title, my title is Madeline Martinez. That is my complete name. I don't care to say my last name. I don't give a shit. So what you put yourself on a pedestal, right? You feed your ego as your spirit is also feeding other people and healing other people. You feed your ego by giving yourself motivation as a business card. Like now you're like, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. Not only am I a healer, not only am I in spirituality, but now I know about business. Now I can speak to people. Because what happens is that when you meet other people outside, these people are not tarot readers, okay? That's why I encourage my witches and tarot readers and readers and intuitives and angel card readers and coaches to get out there and experience a life outside of the system that you live in, or outside of the same friends and everybody does the same thing, etc., because other people, when you interact with them, are not readers. Like I said, they're lawyers, they're doctors, they're owners of places, they are people that work in McDonald's, they're people that are students, there are people that are surgeons that don't understand your system and your way of handling situations in your life. And so therefore you would have to know how to interpret this system in their life, which is this system as well. And also understand them and understand where they're coming from. You want to experience the difference and the change of other people that don't understand you. It's important so that you know how to deal with different aspects of the all with different faces. It's good. Also, protection. I use crystals, water, the elements as a form of protection, because what happens is that, my oils as well. What happens is that when you are not protected and you don't have the elements around you, try to have all the elements around you, but try to be more in tune with your sun sign elements. Or if it's a full moon, you want to be in tune with your moon sign element, or a new moon. It's, depending on what you want to do, use that as a form of protection. When I would read in the sections or the places where I would read in my element, my element will protect me, because there are other elements that cannot bond with my elements. So therefore, that's a form of blockage in and of itself. For example, let's say you are I don't know. an air sign vibing with, I don't know, vibing with a fire sign, and your elements do not vibe, that person is not going to want a consultation with you, okay? You'll be in tune with not only your people with your elements, but people that are already in tune with being compatible with you in your elements. That is a way of getting rid of clients that can be a little bit of pests, or people that can be a little arrogant, or people that can want to have confrontation with you. It's a form of eliminating that. So that's that. There's nothing fluffy about reading outside at all in any way, shape, or form. Because like I said, you get to learn about other people and you get to be in tune with them. You don't want to be in an environment where everything's disgusting, or you don't want to be in an environment where everything's fluffy. You want to be in an environment where you can experience everything. And what better place to be when outside in the world, outside of your computer, outside of your home, etc., etc. And also, for those of you that are single, you can meet people that are also interested in your own spirituality or are in tune with you. That's another form of meeting people that you might be in tune or might be interested in having a relationship with. Some people would approach me and they didn't want a reading. They just wanted to either connect with me in some way, shape, or form. They want to be vampires, or they just wanted to simply understand. It is another way of marketing our spiritual community. Excuse me. Some people just want to understand, like, what is it about the cards that you like? What is it about you that is different between you and a Christian? And then you have the ability to either answer them back, have a response, not have a response, and have the ability to do your own research. As opposed to you just judging them and them judging you. Because the best marketing is word of mouth. And so when you speak to somebody and you are an angle of light, or an angel to somebody, they will tell other angels or other angles, and they'll, I saw Madeline doing this, or I saw this person doing that, and then she did this, and then, oh my gosh, I researched it and it was there. Boom. It's another way of raising the frequency for humanity. It's perfect. I absolutely loved it. I would encourage everyone to do it. And then after this video, throughout the months or throughout the weeks, I will do separate videos in regards to certain experiences that I had, that I wanted you, or that I want you guys to know about. I'm going to just choose the experiences and do separate videos for each. So I hope you guys have a fantastic night wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.